Okay. We're just going to now briefly describe some troubleshooting, some situations that may occur, and the fixes for these situations. Now, the first situation is that you can have is when you've over-tightened, or a client of yours has over-tightened the gripper. So for instance, they've been using on a child, instead of using a double-sized pad, which you have, or doubling up the pad, they've tried to force these grippers closed around the arm of the child. And that can result in a crack of the gripper. However, there's no problem, because the gripper, by putting a pin in here, can be pulled out and replaced, and you have some replacement parts of these. So the gripper can be replaced. Again, with the lower gripper, these can be replaced and very easily unscrewed and replaced. The second point we're going to be talking about is what we call drift of the 3DT. Now what this means is you set up an initial range of motion during the range of motion setting for any part of the body, and then during the task you see that the client cannot reach that range of motion. Now this might happen on several occasions, although you might go back into the resetting of the range of motion session, and you can see that they really cannot reach this range of motion, or the range of the object on the screen is moving without the client moving their limb. So to check to see whether this is drift, you go into the range of motion setup, and you just lie the sensor flat on the table, and you click through each of the planes. And then you see if that range of motion is after a period of time is increasing. If it's increasing, that could be what we call drift. Now, drift can be caused because there's somewhere in the environment some metal, a big chunk of metal. Could be in the table, could be in the chair. That could be a possibility to having drift. So the solution is to move, or to move that piece of furniture. The second problem could be that the sensor needs to be recalibrated, and we can recalibrate that online. And then you'd have to do a service call for that. Now, to recharge the sensor, the 3DT, you only should recharge using a USB cable to the computer. So it's only a USB. It should be not with a plug socket and a USB with an adapter, plug adapter, but it should be a USB cable only to the computer. And we're looking at certifications. What's very important is that the system, that's the MediTouch devices, the MediTouch software, is FDA certified, and it's also HIPAA compliant as well. So these are the two important certifications, FDA and HIPAA compliance. Okay, well, thank you all very much for your time. Thank you very much. I've always wanted to do this when you finish the news.